I got my little rug made, and I'm going to be putting this in the kitchen. But it's just little, it's just made with cross stitch and single crochets. And the crosses are made with treble there's that. It was in one of the little pamphlets that one of my daughters got for me. It was real simple, and you use 3 strands of yarn and a size N hook. It is a very big hook. Size N 10 millimeter. It's a very big hook. Um, but yeah, and it was really easy and rather fun to make. Um, but tonight, I've showed you this the other day that I bought from Borders bookstore. Bella Coco's Crochet Stitch Card Deck, a pocket stitch library and 52 cards. And now I'm not going to read like all the instructions, but I thought you guys would, some of you might appreciate it, especially if you are new to crochet. It does give, and this is important because these cards refer to it. It has this little booklet. And it says how about understanding multiples, and then it tells about some basic stitches, and like I said, this and abbreviations, and then I guess abbreviation and what they and how to do what it explains the abbreviation and how to do those particular stitches. So it comes in handy for these cards. One of the neater cards that there's a card about how to use the deck, and then it has a stitch conversion between US and the UK, because as we all know, US terms and UK terms are different. And then on the other side, it has hook sizes, which is very good, very handy, and it gives it a metric, UK, and US sizes. So again, they're all very different. And if you were to ever read, look at like an old, like I have one of the books I have has much older patterns in it, and a lot of their terms that they use in there are what they call UK terms, and so crochet in UK is a triple crochet. Well, here in America, a triple crochet is 3 and a double is 2. You just have to kind of, and like what we call a single crochet, it's like a double, and like a slip stitch is a single. I mean, it's completely different. So you have to think about it in those terms when you're making those particular patterns. But anyway, these are all in English. They're all American terms. American. And it breaks these up into, sure, there we go. And we have 2 different colors here. One's like this blue-gray color, and the other one, they're yellow. And the blue ones are the blue-gray ones are the simple stitch combinations, and the yellow ones are the textured stitches, and it gives you a skill level and multiples and stitches used. We got Chatika Woods, we got Kennedy Smith, and Ashley, and Lana. Yay! Thank you for watching me. I want everybody to like, comment, subscribe. Anyway, I'm I've only been on YouTube as a channel since last year. Well, I put myself out there about around Easter time to start my channel. Um, as a so I just been making little projects here and there when I can, and I try to make lives when I can. They're not My lives aren't always at the same day and times like a lot of people are. I just come on when I can and try to say hi, let you know what I'm up to. My name is Rachel, and I am the Thrifty Crocheter. I like to go to thrift stores to purchase my yarns, and sometimes in thrift stores, they will have a lot of yarn, and other times they could be yarn deserts, and sometimes even if they have yarn, like today, I went to a couple of thrift stores, and one of them didn't have yarn, and the other one did have some yarns, but they were thinner yarn than what I would like to use, and the yarns that they did have that I like to use, yes, they were almost a whole skein, but they look more like the pricing that they were using in that store would look more like a full price instead of a thrift store price, if you get my drift. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave it for the next person. um, but I mean, I will purchase yarn from like Walmart, and of course we can't do it. I've tried to go back into Joann's twice since I've heard that all the stores are closing. But both times I went in there, the line was from the front of the store to the back of the store. In fact, one of the ladies that goes to my church, she also crochets, and when she went, and she had posted out on her own page, her own Facebook page, that she was in line for over an hour, standing in line over an hour to pay for their stuff. I love Joann's, but I ain't waiting in line for an hour to my cart full of goodies. No, I'm not doing that. But I am sad to see Joann go. I really am. Down the street from my Joann's, there is a Hobby Lobby. And on the other side of town from me, by where I used to work, there is a Michael's. So at least I still have those. I have those two stores that I can drive to. Um, if I need specific colors and specific weights that I don't already have. My family thinks I have too much yarn. I don't know. I tell people all the time, the amount of yarn I have is way less than a lot of the people who've been having their channels like forever and doing and crocheting and knitting forever longer than me, and can afford to get, and they get yarn from like the yarn companies, and yeah, they're much bigger channels. um, but okay, anyway, we gotta get back to this. Back to my reason for doing this today. Um, the crochet stitch card deck. Okay, first one stitch is a linen slash moss skill level beginner, multiple of 2+1, and the stitches that are used is a chain and a single crochet. That's what that stitch looks like. We have a ripple stitch, skill level beginner, multiples of 12+3, stitches used is a chain and a double crochet. And then some of these do give a pattern note, and the pattern notes on this one says, for different effects with this stitch, you can change colors every 1, 2, 3, or more rows. If you wish to change color for the next row, do so in the last yarn over of the last stitch. On the back of each card, it gives the instructions on how to do each of these stitches, but I'm not going to sit there and read the back of them for you. But another day, I may take these cards and one at a time and show you how to do these stitches. This next one is a primrose, skill level beginner, multiples of 3+2. And stitches that are used are chain, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. Houndstooth. I know a lot of people like to use the houndstooth. Um, now with the skill of a beginner, multiples of 2 plus 1, and the stitches are used are chain, single crochet, and double crochet. Shell stitch. A lot of people like to use that one as well. Skill level beginner, multiples of 6 plus 2. Stitches used are chain, single crochet, double crochet, and the shell stitch. And as I said, on the bottom, underneath which says shell stitches, it says refer to page 14 of the booklet for more info. That, in that booklet, I'm going to pick it up again, would be this. So that's where this comes into play, is when they have that. A granny stripe. If you know how to do granny shells, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And a skill level beginner, multiple of 3 plus 2, stitches used, chain, single crochet, double crochet, pattern notes for different effects. With this stitch, you can change colors every 1, 2, 3, or 4 more rows. If you wish to change color for the next row, do so in the last yarn over in the last stitch. So that's that one, the granny stripes. Grit. Now, I didn't know there was a stitch called grit. I mean, I know I've heard of an old Western TV show called True Grit, or sometimes we say grit your teeth and bear it, but I didn't know that there was a stitch called grit. Skill level beginner, multiples of 2 plus 1, and the stitches used is just a chain and a single crochet. Brick. I didn't know there was one called brick. I thought that was just something you use to build a house or a path, like a sidewalk, like there's in front of my house. Skill level beginner, multiples of 4 plus 2, stitches used, chain, single crochet, and a stretched spike stitch. And then again, it says to refer to the booklet. So the booklet is very important with this deck. I would recommend if you were to get this to keep everything in that deck, keep the box, keep everything there. That way it makes it a lot easier. Um, Herringbone double crochet, beginner, 1 plus 1, and chain, and herringbone double crochet. And again, it says to refer to the booklet. Rolling waves. This is actually kind of cool looking. It's beginner and multiples of 10 plus 3. Stitches used, chain, single crochet, double crochet, half double, and triples. Wow, that's kind of neat. A Suzette. It sounds like a person's name. Skill level beginner, multiples of 2 plus 2, and the stitches is chain, single crochet, and double. Um, Earlier tonight, I was watching somebody yarn over hooks blanket, but in a corner to corner way, which was looking really, really pretty. This one's called Block. Skill level beginner, multiples of 3 plus 2, stitches as chain. And a special stitch is a standing single crochet. Eyelet, beginner, 4 plus 2, chains and single crochet. Everything always starts with a chain, of course. Yep. I dropped a card. Little fans. Little fans. Like, beginner, 6 plus 2, chain, single crochet, double crochet, and shell stitch. And again, this is referred to the booklet. Like I said, they all have a V-stitch. A lot of people use a V-stitch sometimes in their, when you're doing the corners on a granny, but V-stitch. Beginner, 3 plus 3, and chain and double crochet. There's usually a lot of space between the two doubles. Side saddle. Now this one, when I was looking at it, it kind of reminded me of looking at a like the drunken granny, in my opinion. It's an intermediate level. Multiple 5+2 stitches used is the chain, single crochet, and double crochet. Now here's a pattern note. After row 2, double crochet 4 together will be referred to as a cluster. So there's that. Color side saddle. Um, Lark's foot. The intermediate, 4+3, chain, double crochet, and a spiked double crochet is the special stitch that's also used, and that one is referred to the booklet. Bead, B-E-A-D, intermediate, 2+1, chain, single crochet, double crochet, and bead stitch. And it's referred to the booklet, but does give a pattern note. It says when working this stitch, do not pull the yarn too tight. Very specifically says do not pull the yarn too tight. Sturdy mesh, intermediate, 4+3, chain, single crochet, and double. Spacing. Filet crochet. I know a lot of people have used filet crochet. I did what I did with where it is right now. I did do a kind of a filet crochet for a cross that I made last year. Um, Intermediate, 12+3, chain and double crochet. Actually made it in a color similar to this. I'm not sure where I put it at this point. I know I have it in one of my bags over there. Colander, which I thought was an interesting name for a stitch because that's usually something that you would drain your spaghetti or your pastas in. But anyway, colander, skill level intermediate, 8+1, chain, single crochet, and double crochet. Thermal, oh, that was an interesting name for a stitch because most people think of thermal underwear. Anyway, thermal. Intermediate, 1+2, stitches used, chain, single crochet, starting thermal stitch, a thermal stitch, and a closing thermal stitch. Pattern note. Refer to page 9 of the booklet for information on back loop only stitches. And of course, it has those special stitches and the page number on the booklet. Stitch, intermediate, 4+4, chain, single crochet, and a spike stitch. And it says to refer to the booklet. Double linen moss. Skill level intermediate, 2+2, chain, single crochet, and a spike stitch, and refer to the booklet. A lot of these you got to refer to the booklet. So make sure you keep this booklet because it will be very, very handy. Chevron, intermediate, 25+5 is the multiple. Wow. Stitches used, chain and single crochet. Here's the pattern note. This sample is made with 3 colors, changing every 2 rows. However, it can be made in any number of colors, which can change in any number of rows. I thought that was an interesting detail that they put in there. Arcade. Now, I never heard of an arcade stitch, but to me, an arcade is something where we went as kids to go play games. But anyway, Arcade stitch, intermediate, 6 plus 2, stitches used, chain, single crochet, and double crochet. An arcade. Hmm. Solomon's knot. I have heard of these. I haven't made one, but I've seen them and they look very, very pretty, very dainty. When they're done right with a particular pattern, they look very dainty. Advanced, 4 plus 2, single crochet, chain, single crochet, and Solomon's knot. Lace cluster. And then they even give a little, almost like a blow up of it. Skill level beginner. Oh, we are now starting the textured stitches, which is a lace cluster. Beginner, 6 plus 5, chain, double crochet, half double crochet cluster. And see, they give that little, it's almost like a blow up of the whole stitch. And again, they say to refer to the booklet. And these on these textured stitches, they give a little on every one. They give like a little blow up of what it looks like in one corner. Cobble, beginner, 2 plus 2, chain, single crochet, and treble. See, there's the blow up right there. Uh, Skill level beginner, 2 plus 2, stitches used, chain, double crochet. Rice. And I thought that was something you ate. I didn't know they named a stitch called a stitch. Beginner, 2 plus 3, stitches used, chain, double crochet, half double crochet. Pattern note, refer to page 9 of the booklet, but here's the important part. Information on back posts and front post stitches. So, what's that? Even moss. Skill level beginner, multiple 2, stitches used, chain, slip, stitch, and half double crochet. And there's the little blow up. Hey, Lori! Lori Stories and Crochet. Hi! Waffle stitch. I have tried this a couple times, and then unfortunately, I get defeated, and I end up frogging it. I get mad. Actually, I can't remember if I did a waffle stitch or if I did a basket stitch on a for a scarf. Not last Christmas, but the year before. I used one of those. I think it was a basket, not a waffle. But anyway, intermediate, multiple 3 plus 2, and just uses chain and double crochet. There's a kind of a blow up of it. Harvest. Now I thought that was something that farmers did in the fall. I didn't know there was a harvest stitch. And this is kind of a neat looking thing too. Intermediate, multiples of 7 plus 3. Stitches used, chain, single crochet, double crochet, and a double puff stitch. Of course, it says refer to the booklet for the double puff stitch. Anytime there's a special stitch, they always say to refer to the booklet. And there's the basket weave. Intermediate, multiples of 8 plus 7. Stitches used, chain, double crochet, and half double crochet. Pattern notes, refer to the booklet. But also said refer to the booklet for information on back post and front post stitches. Because that's how you get your basket weave effect, is whether you're using the back post or the front post of the stitches. That's how you get that basket weave effect. I think that's the one I used to make the scarf with. And that's pretty cool. And of course we got puff stitches. Intermediate, 2 plus multiples 2 plus 2, stitches used, chain, single crochet, and puff stitch. Um, Loop. It's a loop stitch. I think this would be fun to use if you were making like a shaggy animal. You know, like you're making like the mane on a lion, maybe, or something to that effect. Um, Skill levels intermediate, multiples of 1+1, stitches used, chain, single crochet, and the loop stitch. Popcorn. Um, Popcorn is a skill level intermediate, multiples of 2+2, stitches used, chain, single crochet, and popcorn stitch. Pattern notes. Each popcorn stitch is made on the wrong side, meaning it will pop away from you. Away from you. So, just so you know. I like that. I like that little special note they give. It's kind of important. Royal Ridge. Skill level intermediate. Multiples of 1+1. Stitches used. Chain, single crochet, and half double crochet. A knit. There is a crochet stitch called knit. Intermediate, multiples of 1+2, stitches used, chain half double crochet, refer to the booklet, and information on back loop only stitches. Almond ridges, skill 5, stitches used, chain, slip stitch, and half double crochet, refer to the booklet, and information on back loop only stitches. That's almost a ripply looking effect. Double waffle. Intermediate, 5+2, chain double crochet, the booklet, and information on front post stitches. That's kind of a different look to the for a double waffle as opposed to the waffle stitch. Alpine. I thought that was just a tree. But evidently there's a stitch called Alpine. Skill level intermediate, multiple 2+1. Stitches used is chain, single crochet, double crochet. For the booklet and information on front post stitches. And then it gives another little note down here. It says, when working double crochet on the current row, you will skip the stitch you have just worked in front of. I'm glad it gives little notes. It gives helpful notes. It has all that information. Like I said, on the back of every single one of these cards, it gives directions on how to make the stitches. But I just didn't want to read through the whole card. I just want to give the basic information on the front. Bobble stitch, skill level intermediate, multiple of 5+2. Stitches used, chain, single crochet, and bobble. Zigzag puff. Ooh, a zigzag puff. Skill level intermediate, multiples of 2+1. Stitches used, um, chained, single crochet, puff stitch, and half double crochet. And of course, it says to refer to the booklet. Most of these stitches say refer to the booklet for the special stitches. That's why that booklet is so important. Oh, bar. As in, some people like to go to the bar to have fun. I don't, but this one's called a bar. Skill level intermediate, multiples of 3+3. Stitches used, chain, single crochet, double crochet. Pattern notes refer to the booklet and information on front post stitches And then at bottom here it says, when changing colors, you do not need to fasten off the yarn. Instead, carry the unused yarn up to the edge of the work. So, it's an important little detail. Mini, mini basket weave. Just mini basket weave. Just oh, okay. I'm gonna stop now. Intermediate, multiples of 4 plus 2. Stitches used, chain, double crochet, half double crochet. Refer to the booklet for information on back post and front post stitches. Corded ridge, skill level intermediate, multiples of 1 plus 1. Stitches used, chain, double crochet, and a reverse single crochet. Of course, it does refer to the booklet. Pattern notes. Do not, and they got the word not in big letters. Do not turn work at the end of each row. The right side should always be facing you. Very important note. And I do like on how they, for these textured ones, they blow up the texture so you can see it. Crocodiles. Now, I have heard them, and I actually have, and I'm not sure where on my bookshelf or my stack of books it is, but I actually do excuse me. um, and it's warm in here, it's dry, and okay. I do have a book that shows how to do crocodile stitches in various projects to make with that crocodile stitch. And it does look like scales. It does look kind of like scales. It's pretty cool. And you don't have to make crocodiles either. I mean, there were several various projects. If we ever do this stitch, and I will get that book out and I will show you. Um, Skill level advanced, multiples of 6 plus 3, stitches used, chain, double crochet, slip stitch, and scale stitch. Of course, refer to the booklet. You see, they do look like scales. It is a pretty cool looking, pretty neat. And Celtic weave. This is kind of neat. Skill level advanced, multiples of 4 plus 4, stitches used, chain, double crochet, treble, and half double crochet, and refer to the booklet, and for information on back posts and front post stitches. That's the last of them. I mean, I know a lot of you out there already know how to do these. But I think in the future I'm going to make samples together. And if you choose to keep the sample, keep all the samples and then make a blanket out of these samples. That would look cool. Or you can just take it apart. Yeah, I think I want to keep them and make a little blanket, and that way I could see how, that way in the future I can really see how it was done. Now, the only thing it doesn't, one of the things though, it does not say though, well, actually I have not read further, but it doesn't, I didn't see where it said, what size yarn or what size hook to use. So, because of course, the size of the hook and the size of the yarn will depend on how big the sample is, as we all know. But anyway, I just think these are really neat. Really good way to learn some stitches. And I am okay. There we go. I almost couldn't get the wrap, the little wrap thing on there. Um, but here's the little booklet. Bella Coco's Crochet Stitch Card Deck. Um, okay. For understanding multiples, I will read this just real quickly. For all the stitches in the deck, stitch multiples are provided x plus y. A stitch multiple is the number of stitches required to create a repeat of your chosen stitch. X being the number you multiply, and the y being the extra. Sorry, this room tends to do that. I apologize. Knowing that a stitches multiple will allow you to adapt or even create your own crochet patterns, since it will arm you with the formula you need to achieve your stitch across any height or width you'd like. So I think that was cool. And then they actually give an example down here, and they give the basic stitch for the single and double, or single crochet, half double crochet, double, triple, and a double treble. Yes, I'm going to do the then they have abbreviations, and that's where they go into stitches where it says see the book to do the stitch. That's where all of these are. So that's why this is very, very handy. If you ever buy this box, do not lose this book because it is important to the cards. um, it is extremely important to the cards. Um, but yeah, we may be doing this in the future here real soon. So we can figure out how to do these stitches together. I know a lot of you already know how to do these, but a lot of us don't. So I think it would be fun to learn how to do these stitches together. Um, Also, this is the hook, the hook for my, just the pick hook for my loom knitting, because I also like to loom knit. I decided to fall on the floor. Here's one of the panels. It's almost long enough, it's not quite long enough. But here's one of my panels that I'm working on. To go, I am adding to a blanket that I made for one of my daughters when she was little, and it is not too big for her. I'm doing what I call like log cabin style. You know, like when you do a log cabin stitch, you're basically going along each of the sides of your square. Like you start with a square, and then you build on it for how many rows you want, and then you take this, and then you can work up the other side, so many rows, and so forth. Well, I'm doing that, basically going like that around the one that I made for my daughter, because that one's only 2 panels long, and they were shorter panels, and so this is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna take a little while to get all the way around to do each of the. I have to do 4 panels and then sew them on, and then I'm gonna put a border on it. So I'm working on that. And when it is finished, I promise I will show you. And once I get each of the panels attached, I will show you that as well. And I will show you the finished project, finished when it is done. Um, and I hope all of you are having a very fantastic weekend. Oh, there's Shatika Woods. Hi, there's Shatika. I hope everybody is doing well. They're having a good weekend. It's a little chilly out there today. My daughter wanted to go do some errands, and we had to go some other errands as well. So it was nice just to be outside, get some fresh air, and it was a little chilly. It was just nice to be outside for a little bit. Um, yesterday, I had to work yesterday, and where I live, it was like near 60 degrees yesterday, and today it was back down to the mid 30s. Um, but I had to be at work all day yesterday, and I was so sad that I had to be at work and missing all that sunshine. And I was like singing all these songs about sunshine to myself because it was just the sun was so gorgeous out yesterday, and it was so warm out. Oh, we had some spring weather this week, and then this morning woke up with like a little dusting of snow and 30 some degree weather. Midwest. I live in the Midwest, so that's the Midwest for you. When it comes to winter, you never know what season you're going to get when it comes to winter. When it comes to between fall and winter months, you never know. Cause I'll tell you what, this winter has been. We've had spring, fall, winter. I don't think we never quite got to summer temps, but it felt like it compared to some of the temperatures we've had. Like we've had some temperatures that were below zero, so 30s feels like summer. But not today. After having 50-degree weather, 45 and 50-degree weather, 35, 32 feels cold. And waking up, it's like 25 degrees, that feels cold. Um, and I tell you what, across the U.S., Mother Nature has just been another weird one again, because some of the states who usually never, at least in my opinion, we should never get snow for winter, got snow. And I know on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, in memories this last week, it was showing from years past where other states have also got, like a couple years ago, got snow, and I was like, wow, Mother Nature has just been off her walker last 10 plus years. When it comes to winter, so I don't know. Um, this world. Um, but I like to loom knit as well as crochet. I do not knit. I have a daughter that likes to knit and crochet and cross. No, it's either cross stitch or needle. It's needlepoint, and I know there's a difference between needlepoint and cross stitching. There's a difference. I was told this. Um, I don't know the difference because I don't do that particular thing, but I feel there is a difference. Um, and I have a brother who knits and occasionally tries to dabble at crochet, but he prefers knitting. Um, I think I tried knitting like a lifetime ago and just could not do it, but I love to crochet. Like I first was kind of taught as an elementary age, and then in adulthood, I kind of went back to, I doubled again with crochet and really got into loom knitting. Then I put loom knitting aside for several years, and actually put crochet and loom knitting away for several years. And then I don't know, one day I just kind of snapped in my head that I wanted to crochet again, and remembered a lot of things that I had forgotten, and picked up some new stitches, and just it just kind of kicked off from there. I started giving people gifts that I made, and they loved them. They're like, "You need to have a YouTube channel. You need to go on YouTube." And it took me years before I decided to be brave enough to do this, because I think what helps is there. Yes, you are there, but you're not here. Like there aren't people physically in the room staring back at me. Where you're not sitting on the stage and looking directly at the person. Um, so it's not quite. I love people. I love talking to people, but it comes to, I don't know. Do you understand what I mean? Um, which is interesting because when I go to work, I talk to everybody, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of like when you get to a new job. At first you might be a little more quiet and reserved because you don't know anybody, And then once you get to know everybody, you're just like, hi, 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 you know? It's one of those kind of things. So, how are you today? How's everybody doing? I hope the weather is good where you are and that Mother Nature isn't playing games with you. Oh, I'll tell you what, as you get older, Mother Nature likes to play with your joints. I am 51. It will be 52 on the 9th. Yeah, trust me, there are some mornings and my hands are just really stiff. Um, and my other joints sometimes get a little bit stiff when I'm trying to go up and down stairs and or to get up. Like when I go to reach for anything on the floor, if I'm already sitting on the floor and getting up, it is hard for me to get up from the floor. um, so, um, oh, the rug that I made, it was used. One of the colors I used, I thought was black, but it's actually a navy blue. And then on today, I was trying to cake it up. And of course, I decided to barf and get knotted up. So then I decided to ball up from the other side. The only thing is trying. You are trying to cake up all the rest of the yarn that is navy blue, a very dark navy blue, over a black table. Very hard to see the yarn. Um, so I think I'm going to play with this while I'm talking to you, trying to get this unmessied up so I can finish caking it. I don't know why it decided to knot up in the middle of caking because I've never had this problem. I was pulling from the middle, you guys. I was pulling from the middle. Never had this problem, and it was it's very daunting. I just want to throw this out the window right now, but I won't. Um, I'm getting frustrated. Sorry. I know some of you can understand what I mean when you get frustrated with your yarn because it wants to barf or get knotted up all of a sudden, and you're just like, no, no, don't do that. But I am so sad that Joanne is leaving us. That they tried to salvage some stores and try to keep it open, but unfortunately, they're going to be gone. I had a feeling that mine was going to go even before they said they were going to. They, because when I walked in there a few weeks ago, when they said they were still going to save some stores, and my store, they usually have right out there where the cashiers are. They would usually have all kinds of like posters of all these different classes, whether they be baking or sewing, crocheting, knitting, painting, whatever. Because Joann's has all kinds of crafts in it, not just yarn, not just fabric. They had stuff for baking. They had um, things to decorate your home with. They had just about same things that are at any other craft store. Um, but I feel for the people that are losing, lost their jobs and are getting ready to lose their jobs. As far as just for the employees that work the stores alone. Um, but for those of us who you know who knit and crochet, we're gonna have to find other stores. Some people are like me. They'd rather go to the actual store and pick out their yarns. Because at least when you're in the store, you can feel the yarn because some are softer than others. Some have a little bit of a haze on them. Um, some are thinner, some are thicker. Like it might say it's a 4 weight, but it might be more like a 3, vice versa. Not to mention dye lots. I still remember before my mom died, I was making this particular project, and I went to go buy the yarn for it over there in Joann's, on their huge yarn wall, and getting this particular shade of green, like a mint green, like a mint green color, and oh my goodness, even though everything in those boxes, those little cubbies said, I don't remember what the color of it was at the time, but they all said that particular colorway. But then you look at the dye lot numbers, and they were all completely different. And because the dye lots were different, then that made the colors different. Yes, they had the same name, but they definitely weren't the same color. They weren't the same colorway. I mean, okay, for instance, I'm gonna grab a couple of colors down here. Oh, we're getting tangled. We've gotten ourselves slightly tangled in another yarn. Okay, now I can finish. We are going to pretend. Now, see, it's obvious. Okay, here's a green, and here's a green. I'm going to put them together. Those are two different shades of green. Now, we're going to pretend they're both the same name. Like, say they both say Christmas green. I don't know what color they are, but we'll just say it's Christmas green. Well, obviously, they're not the same shade. But we're going to say they're both the same name brand, same everything, except the dye lot numbers are different. that's one of the that's one of the reasons I don't like to buy online, because yes, you might be getting four skeins of red, but they all could be different shades of the red because the dye lots are all different, and then you're screwed because they're not all the same red or the same green in this case. You know, that's why when you're at the store, you can make sure to get all of the same dye lot. Um, make sure you get all of the same dye lot when you're in the store. And I think you lose that when you're going to buy online. But I also don't trust online shopping either. Yes, I know that a lot of them have ways to protect you and protect your card and all that stuff. But as we know, there are people who are smart enough how to break through all those kind of security walls, and you hear all the time about people getting their ID stolen. And so that's why I don't shop online, because that's just too scary to me. um, anyway, um, I hope. Oh, and I don't know why Nightbot is not working, but I did try to put in Nightbot for my live, and he's not on, and I don't know why. I'm gonna have to work on that and try to fix that so I can have Nightbot in my as part of my lives. Um, I would love the future, like I don't know if we can do it with YouTube by itself. Um, but I know a lot of people use. My mind just went blank on me. I know a lot of you have seen people's lives where it has the little duck in the corner. I can't think of the name of it, but oh yes, don't forget dummies. Don't forget dummies, people. Um, I want to try that one. So I can have like a split screen thing. So I can, because a lot of people, some of the people I watch in the morning, they'll have themselves, and then they have one of their other person with them. And a lot of these live streams have several people, and up here, and then of course you got your chat. I'd love to do something like that with someone or with a bunch of people. That would be fun because I think that's what makes the live streams really really fun. But I also like talking with you, giving, telling you guys things, and I also like you guys talking to each other and saying hi. Um, um, I have a lot of things going on up here in the works. I have so many. A long time ago, I joined one of these clubs, one of these crochet clubs, and I've never got around to get doing those. So I need to do those. Um, so many things going on. But if I get them, as I decided to clear out my room by doing projects and get some of these projects out of here, and that way the room will be a little more easier to handle. We will be cool. One project at a time, one thing at a time. Um, I know we all like to have multiple whips at one time. That's cool. Cause trust me, I do too. But you also need to get them finished. You need to finish them, whether they're there for a gift or they're for your own personal self. It doesn't do any good for it to just sit there. They need to get done. They need to get done. So, like I know I have one blanket that I started years ago. It sounds strange, but I bought the colors that were specific to my pets, and so I'm using a blanket using those colors. Um, I have another blanket way over there that had family members' favorite colors that I chose for them, and I got to finish making that one. Um, and actually, the person that I was going to give it to was my husband, and he passed away last summer. Also, last summer was very, very bad for our family because my mother passed away in June, and then my husband turned around and passed away in July. Very rough summer. Very rough summer. Yeah. In fact, I got to keep the purse that I made for my mother. She really, really liked this. It's all one piece, and then handles you crochet over the handles. She really liked this. Um, Everybody, give me thummies, 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 and I will. Oh, I'm going to be doing. I I found my little devotion books. They're over in my room. They're over in my bedroom. We will be doing devotions again soon. I miss doing that. I used to do those on a daily basis. I would read you two or three different devotionals, and of course, as I'm reading them, I would I'd always say something about it because it would remind me of this or that. So that's going to be coming um, for those of you who like devotions, because I know on, like I said, during the day, in the mornings, there's one, two, three, four different channels that when they have their lives, usually they're on for like an hour. About halfway through their live, they will stop and read a devotion and then go on with the rest of their life. And I just thought that was the most awesome thing in the world. And so I started doing that on, well, not on lives. I would just make a little short little video and then have that out there for you. And I would put, today's date and, the devotion, Um, like, for instance, today is March the 1st. I would say March 1st devotional. Um, but if you don't want to get the devotionals, that's fine too. But I'm just putting it out there for those who like them. Um, let's see. Like I said, I just have a lot of things going on in the works. Gonna I've already been an hour long into this video. Most people do theirs for an hour. Some do a couple hours. Um, I know one of the gals I watched. She's all the way in Sweden, and sometimes, and I don't mind this, but sometimes she does her videos like it seems like all day. It's not quite all day, but she will sit there for several hours and just crochet away, talk about this, that, and the other. And she's so fun. She's really funny. Um, and I watch several people. Like I do watch the Boggy Brigade and all of the people that are involved with that to do their videos once a week. They're just about ready to wrap up and send everything to that camp. But I know later this year they will start accepting blankets again for that. Every year they do a blanket drive, and they've surpassed their number. I haven't got a chance to see last Wednesday's drive. Last Wednesday's, I can't talk now. Last Wednesday's video, their live video, but I know they will surpass the number because this year they wanted to do 2025 in 2025, and they way went past that number now as far as blankets that have been made. Between all the blankets that have been donated, which is awesome. Um, and then none of the ones have been donated, but I know at least two of them that are part of those videos. They were taking in squares and then making them into blankets. So you have all of those that were making. Like one person was going to make 100 blankets, so there's another 100 right there. So 100. I mean, it's just amazing what people do for others. A lot of, like I said, Boggy Brigade make the blankets for the kids at Boggy Creek. A lot of this, one of the ladies that's in Alaska, she likes to make hats and scarves for the needy in her area. Um, some people like to make like little hats and blankets for the hospitals for like for like the little babies. Just check your local area. If you want to make whatever you want to make for them that they could use, whether it's hats, scarves, mittens, um, like little baby doll clothes. Um, Maybe they need like a little soap sack to put their soap bars in, or they need washcloths and dishcloths. They need pot holders. Just check your local areas, and you could always make something for them, or make something for like a woman's shelter, or something of that sort. Trust me, those people will appreciate anything and everything you can make for them and give to them. Um, and of course, you have family and friends who appreciate the things that you make for them, especially if they really appreciate it. And you could tell when somebody really appreciates it by looking on their face and the way that they tell you how much they appreciate it, how much they really, really like it, as opposed to, oh, this is nice. Yeah, I can really tell you really like it. Yeah, right. Um, So, I keep saying that. um, Trying to think what else I needed to tell you. It's been over an hour. I think I've held your attention long enough. Like I said, I have finished my little rug, and it's real simple. It's just crosses, and then a row. It's just a row of crosses and a row of single crochets. And the crosses are made with triple crochets, and then there's doubles on the ends or doubles. Real easy. I actually didn't make it as long as they wanted to, so to be up to 40 inches long. And it is 24 inches wide, it's 40 inches long, but I didn't feel like making it that big. And actually, I was using it for some of the yarn that I got from a thrift store not that long ago. Then I started to run out of some of the colors, so then I used yarn from my stash so I could get to this point. I used a lot of my stash yarn to help finish it off, so I could still have a lot of the colors that were in it previously to keep it together, keep all the colors together. About, I mentioned this the other way where I ended it. You might be able to see some differences, not a whole lot. And see, I'm one of those who, when I make my projects, some people like to leave their tails and then weave them all in later. Me, no. I'd rather weave them in as I'd rather weave them in as I go. That way I don't have to worry about it later. I am not about that kind of frustration. Mm-mm. I'd rather weave them in and put them in as I go. That way I don't have to worry about it later because it's already done. But to each their own. Just like some people like to do center pull, and some do it from the outside. I will do it either way. Um, I have yarn bowls that I use when I have the yarn that's in like a little ball shape, or some of my smaller cakes. I'm gonna sit it in my iron bowl. Um, Actually, yeah. Oh, another channel we were talking about stitch markers. I got for Christmas some stitch markers. Yeah, these were some of them. It's just that particular. I think it was on. Yeah, yarn book. She didn't really like these as well. She likes the ones that are. What did she like? Oh, she liked the ones. I know I have them. The ones that look like. Um, but yeah, but I can't talk today. I have lost my ability to talk today. I know I have them, and now I can't. Isn't that something? How every time you want something, you can't find it, and then you find it and you don't need it. But it's the ones that look like safety pins. I do have some of those. Um, I do like those as well. And I do have some ones that kind of look like the little fish hook one, the claw one. I do have some of those. Those are pretty. But everybody has their own kind of uh, ones that they like to use. Okay, it's been well over an hour. I know I just said this. Okay, one last time, and I'm not going to go through all the cards again. But for those who are learning to crochet, and I know there's a ton of books out there and a ton of videos out there, but I thought we would go through these real soon, and we would learn how to do these together. And there is a booklet in there on how to do some of the stitches, and that is very, very, very important to the cards. Um, and we'll do them together, learn how to do these together, and then we can stitch them together and make a blanket. That would be fun. So with that, I'm going to let y'all finally go. Love y'all. And maybe tomorrow I will do um, another live, perhaps during the day instead of at night, because it is nighttime here. Um, that way there would be more lighting in here because the windows are open and we can let the daylight come in. But I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. Have a super Saturday and a very blessed Sunday tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend. I will try to sneak in some more. If I can't get in a live, I will try to go back to doing devotionals and give you a devotional every day. So look forward to that. Um, and look forward to me working on some more projects and showing you my progress and the finish of said projects. Hope all of you are working on your projects and getting your things done like you should. Like I'm talking to myself here. Um, I try to have a little bit of fun. I have fun at my own expense. Yes, I do. Because none of us are perfect. Nobody is perfect. Some of you might, there are some people out there who probably think that they are perfect, that they are the best. No, you are not. Nobody's perfect. Just saying. Just saying. Because this is just a video, okay? I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. Um, but I love y'all. Y'all have a very wonderful weekend. Love y'all. Bye.